Have you ever been told you need a Phase I environmental site assessment for your property transaction? And then someone mentions a Phase II, and suddenly nobody seems to know what that actually means? Or maybe you've heard both terms tossed around during your transaction and thought, wait, aren't they the same thing? They sound familiar, but they're two totally different steps in environmental due diligence. And knowing when each applies can save you time, money, and a few headaches during that transaction. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll know exactly what each one does, when it's needed, and how to avoid overpaying or overcomplicating your deal. Hi there, I'm Doug Rulin from RMA, your environmental experts. We've worked with hundreds of buyers, sellers, lenders, and attorneys, and this question, Phase I or Phase II, is one of the most common questions we get. Before we go too far, just know this. If you ever need help figuring out which assessment makes the most sense for your property transaction, RMA is here to make that simple. Just reach out to us. So let's start with why environmental site assessments exist in the first place. It all comes down to liability. Under federal law, specifically the CERCLA or Superfund law, if you buy a property that's contaminated, you could be held responsible for cleaning it up, even if you didn't cause the contamination. That's why the EPA created something called All Appropriate Inquiry, or AAI. Basically, it's the rule book for environmental due diligence. Following it can protect you from liability, and that process starts with a Phase I environmental site assessment. A Phase I ESA is like a background check for your property. It's a non-invasive review of records, maps, and site history, plus a site visit and a few interviews, all to identify recognized environmental conditions or RECs. The idea is to spot anything that might suggest contamination. Now, if your Phase I comes back clean, you're good to go. Due diligence is done, no further action is needed. But if it raises red flags, that's when a Phase II ESA enters the picture. A Phase II is the confirmation step. It's where we actually test soil, groundwater, vapor, or other samples to find out if contamination is really present, what chemicals are involved, and how serious the issue is. Think of it as moving from possible problem to proven fact. In short, Phase I identifies potential issues, while Phase II verifies whether those issues are real. Now let's talk timing and cost. A Phase I ESA is non-invasive and usually costs a few $1,000s. Figure the average falls somewhere between $4,000 and $10,000. A Phase II is much more involved with sampling, lab analysis, and sometimes drilling, and the price can range anywhere from $5,000, $25,000 or more, in extreme cases, upwards of six figures, depending upon the specific scope. But here's something important. The Phase I is always the first step. It's the foundation of environmental due diligence. And until it's done, you really don't know if a Phase II is even needed or not. That's why we've put together a Phase I cost calculator right here on our website. It's free, super easy to use, and it gives you a realistic price range for your property in about a minute. It's a great way to get a feel for what to expect before you dive in. Now here's where experience matters. Not every REC, a recognized environmental condition, found in a Phase I means you automatically need a Phase II. We've seen plenty of cases where a careful look at the data saved the client from spending tens of thousands unnecessarily. At RMA, we take a risk-based approach. No scare tactics, no cookie-cutter recommendations. We only suggest a Phase II if and when the evidence really supports it. And if contamination is found, we'll help you navigate what comes next, whether that's more sampling, coordinating cleanup activities, or structuring your deal so that the seller helps address it. If you're not sure which one your property needs, reach out to us here at RMA. We'll review your situation, explain your options clearly, and help you take the most effective, efficient path forward. Because when it comes to property transactions, the right information and the right partner really do make all the difference.